How did we first hear about Openlands? It was an exhibit at Millennium Park. We were there in the park to see some other things, and we noticed the photography exhibit. We looked at the photographs, and they were amazing, aerial shots, as I recall. And we thought, and it was a small kiosk, and we thought, who sponsored this, or who's put up this exhibit? And there was some signage about Openlands. We read about Openlands and thought, oh, that's a super cool mission. It was the first I'd heard that any organization was so comprehensively dedicated to conservation in the Chicago region and the sort of the state region in general. The way we choose philanthropies that we give to and participate in, it's a pretty personal decision for us. I think a lot of it comes to what have we been moved by in our lives, where do we find the most joy and satisfaction, and there are a couple of areas that we focus on. Education is one, conservation is another, and those are probably two of the primary ones, and I think it's simply because of our experience and where we've gotten the most satisfaction and enjoyment. One of the things about Openlands itself as an organization I've always been impressed with is just the efficacy of the work, of the organization's work. It's a huge span of effort, but the amount of success the organization has had has impressed me from day one. I think they run the range. I have been as interested in the school gardens and Birds in My Neighborhood program as I have in some of the larger efforts like the Lakeshore Preserve.
It's one other way that we think about philanthropy is, how have we participated or used, the output of that organization, and so, is it an organization where we attend their arts performances, or is it something where we're getting benefit from things like the Lakeshore Preserve, and so we feel like we need to give back to that. So I think that people having being thoughtful about what Openlands and other organizations provide in terms of making the city livable is something that people should really investigate and then also support, because it just doesn't happen by itself.